got to tell y'all about this thing called life. You know I got to share it. See, there's this thing called life. I got to tell y'all. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 163 of In a Good Way podcast. Today's special guest is Rebecca Kastl. I said that right, right?
Yes.
Perfect. She is a speaker, healer, and teacher who holds space for spiritual seekers and those on the healing path to return to their true selves and divine natures. She underwent a dramatically life-changing, spiritually transformative experience, STE, in her 20s while working on healing from childhood trauma. She loves helping others to heal and connect with their spiritual selves. So
Yay.
thank you so much, Rebecca, for being here. And you're also a speech pathologist, you said, right?
Yes, I work with kids. Yeah. Thank you, Omar, for having me. It's awesome to be here.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And we're also part of, we're
The
doing
wheel.
a retreat, the wheel, exactly. We'll both be teachers at a spiritual retreat. So I'll definitely have the links for that in the description.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, if you don't mind, I guess we'll hop right into it. I always love to ask my guests about, first experiences. When did it start at childhood? How was that? And then, was there a gap and then later a return to you? Or when did all
I,
spiritual awakening begin?
really, it all started when I was 26. Now, I did have a few strange spiritual experiences that happened to me when I was 13. Basically, I had a trauma when I was 13, and I think that took me out of my body. Honestly, as we both were talking, we didn't die, but we had traumatic events that made us, I think, immediately aware of
Yeah.
more than just the physical world, which is I was told when the physical world doesn't take care of you, the spiritual world does. So anyway, I didn't have too much spiritual stuff happen until I basically spontaneously, accidentally devoted my life to God when I was writing in my journal when I was 26.
Mm.
So that just started like a 2 year long near-death like experience.
Oh, wow.
Before that, I was pretty skeptical. I was trying to heal from trauma and not too much going on. So other than really bad nightmares. So
Oh, wow. And did those nightmares reveal anything, or what was the?
yeah, I know it's interesting because I started talking about this part and a lot of people have them. They were sleep paralysis nightmares and they were like shadowy things circling me. I don't know if you've ever had those, but they suck. You have.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they went away during my spiritual experience and it never came back. So it was like I got something fixed, you know. I don't know what they were, but they were definitely starting after my trauma and then they stopped when I was 26 when I basically finally told them to go away. So,
Ah.
yeah.
So now, in hindsight, do you have a better understanding, or is that jumping too far ahead? If you want, we could start going through that experience that you had.
Yeah, I
What kicked
can.
off I guess, the 2 year journey?
STE.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. There's so many different terms and I'm still not sure what to call it. But basically, I had this trauma when I was 13. I went to therapy. You know, my mom was a psychologist, so I was like,
Oh, wow.
therapy, yes, this is gonna fix it. And finally, my therapist, when I was in my early 20s, told me I was fine. I didn't need any more therapy. And that's when I was like, I don't know if I'm fine. I don't feel fine. I felt like something was on top of my heart, even though I was functional. I was able to like be okay in the world. Inside, I felt like I wasn't fine. And so I'd been an overachiever in school, and now I was like, I think I'm going to overachieve at this. And I said, at 23, I said, I want to heal all the way. And I was like, I'm just going to do whatever it takes to heal all the way. And that a lot of that involved trying to feel my heart. Like I felt like from my trauma, something was on top of my heart and I wanted to feel what was under it. Now I really believe it was God, it was love that was under my heart. So I was just like, how can I clear this? How can I clear this? I was learning energy healing. I was like doing yoga. And I was writing my journal, Dear God. And I was like, you know, just write like, Dear God, life is fine. Dear God, I'm in school, blah, blah, blah. And then one night I just like got a little overwhelmed with life and I wrote that I wanted to devote my life to God. Not overwhelmed with life. I got like overwhelmed with this beautiful feeling of love. And I
Ah,
wrote this whole promise that I've memorized since I started telling my story. But in the time, it just seemed like it came out of nowhere. I wrote, Dear God, I have decided to give my life to you and whatever that entails. I want to be guided by you, by the light. This is my pledge. I will work hard to follow this path and bring it to fruition. Please help me do this. Please help me bring light to other people. Thank you. Amen. And I was just like crying. And it just, yeah, like you, yeah, I see your face. Like, this is a serious promise. And I was like, no, no, no. Okay. I'm in school. Like, I just finished my journal entry. And then I went to bed. And that's when my whole experience started. Like that night, I saw a light come over my bed. It was a beautiful white light that came
Mm.
from like all this stuff just started happening. And I was like, I think I'm losing my mind, or I just made a promise that actually is getting answered in a way that I didn't think was possible. So, you want me to keep going?
Of course, and
Stop me if you want to ask a question.
well, just so we understand, or so anyone that's listening understands, at this point, you were already feeling somewhat healed from your trauma, right?
Yeah, I thought I was healed all the way when I was 25. I hadn't even done anything but spiritual. I was like, I think I'm pretty healed. This is great. I've healed all the way. Great. Every time I think that, I like haven't. There's no such thing, maybe. So I was really healed, and this just was like another level. I think when I said I want to heal all the way, it was like, okay, really? My soul was like, sure, let's do this.
And
You,
was that a practice you already had about writing in your journal, or?
yeah.
Hmm.
And I didn't realize like when I talked with a friend, like it took me a few weeks to realize like all these spiritual things were happening. I didn't know why. And she's like, what happened? What changed? And I thought, I don't know. And then I was like, oh, I devoted my life to God in my journal. And she's like, you took a written vow to God and you don't know why you're seeing a light. You don't know why you're seeing, I saw light coming out of everyone. I was like, so powerful, but also so simple. It was just a lot of love, a lot of light, and a lot of love. All the stuff that people say is like too fake and not real. It's very real.
No, no, I
So,
think because it gave me chills right now when you're talking about it. I feel that it wasn't about you making that pledge, it's that they believed you.
oh, that's sweet, Omar. I know you're so spiritual. I should just get you to tell me about my
No,
story.
no, no.
I want to hear what you think.
No, no. I mean, that's
That's true. It was
yeah,
sincere, even though
yeah.
it was an accident. My soul meant it, but my personality was like, WTF, what's happening in my life? So,
So I think that
um,
that was the thing is that, because in the spiritual, they see the truth, right? So I
yeah,
think
that's
that's very
true.
important for people to know is that, on that side, they see the truth. So even if you speak with lies, they're gonna know what's in your soul. And so, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that's beautiful that, you know,
thanks.
yeah, yeah, and where it came from. So it just came out, right?
It just came out like I just had this promise. And I had been sick before, like a few days before that. I've been reading some really inspiring books. And I think I was just like, I guess my soul was just like, yeah, I'm ready. But honestly, when the light came over my bed, sometimes I'm like, I wonder if they were curious or if they thought, wow, someone's really gone rogue down there. Let's go help her out. Like, I don't think she meant to write this. No, I don't know. Maybe it was my soul plan, but uh so like a light came over my bed and it was a beautiful white light. It went from one end of the room to right over me. And as soon as I saw it, I could feel that it could see into my heart. And I
Mm,
was really scared because it felt like it was seeing past my surface self, even though I'd done all this healing. It felt really intense, even though it was loving. And I just tensed up and I told it over and over again to go away. In my head, I was looking at it saying, "Go away. I'm scared. Go away." Yeah, I know, Omar. This
No,
is because
no,
my,
you're
my
good.
soul was doing my soul was writing checks my personality didn't want to cash or whatever. So
But did it go away after you told it to go away or no?
it did, and it came into my head. I started like as soon as I was telling it to go away, I started feeling all this tingling come in my head. And it got stronger and stronger, and it felt like a lot of love and a
Mm.
lot of peace. And I thought, this is a really weird headache. I had a boyfriend at the time. He was asleep next to me, and I thought, should I wake him up? Is he having this really weird headache? And then it got so strong that I relaxed into the feeling, and I felt a voice come into my head. And it said, if you don't have to be afraid, but if you are, you can wear a hat. And it put a graduation hat into my mind's eye. So I was in graduate school at the time.
Yeah.
And I think it was telling me I could wear the hat of a graduate student while I went through what became 2 years of spiritual experiences internally. But again, I didn't know what was happening, and I remember saying right back to the voice, "That's not a cute hat. Here's like three other hats you could choose." Like, just like
Wow.
put these other hats. I was 26. I didn't know what was happening. So then the voice stopped, sadly, but I went to sleep, and the next morning I woke up and light was coming out of everyone when I was walking to class, like
Oh, wow.
beautiful. Beautiful white light, like I could see it just pouring out of everyone. It wasn't like I was seeing auras. I was just seeing this like heavenly light coming out of everyone, like from there. And I just could see how beautiful everyone was.
Mm.
And I was walking down the street thinking, gosh, these people are, I had no idea how beautiful everyone was. And everyone looked like an angel. And I loved everyone. So that was very strong for the next couple days, but I still see it more kind of intuit it now. It's
Mm.
never like as, it's not usually as bright as that. Um, anyway. And then all this other stuff started happening. I started having psychic dreams like that week. And my mom had been a psychologist. My dad was a doctor. Like I didn't have a reality that's like some cultures or people like are raised with psychic dreams, and I wasn't. I just was raised to analyze my dreams Freudian style. They're all aspects of me, but then I'm having dreams that come true.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, do you have that too?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So a lot of them are
Crazy.
like either an event that's going to happen in my life, like I've dreamt about a car accident before it happened. I've dreamt about carbon monoxide poisoning that I got and survived before it happened. But other times, I don't know if you have this, but I have dreams like where I meet with my friends in my dreams and they tell me things that they're going through. And then they tell me that in real life, usually. I don't know. I've had a few like dreams about collective stuff, but mostly it's just about my friends.
Mm.
So, yeah. And then other stuff started happening. I can keep going, but it was a lot of stuff. And I just was in grad school and I was just trying to keep it together until I thought I was going to leave the planet. I thought it was either never going to end, or if it did end, it's because I was going to like just go and live in all the light forever. Didn't happen.
So let me ask you this: at this point, was there anyone you trusted in that you started saying that all this was happening to you?
Okay, so yes, there's two. One was my stepdad. So, I come from a really interfaith family. My dad was Jewish, my mom was Christian, and then my mom remarried an indigenous medicine man in my early 20s,
Mm.
which he was a Marine and an engineer, but like he came from a tradition that this was part of life. So as soon as I started having my spiritual experience, he started having dreams about me.
Oh.
Yeah, like he dreamt that I was becoming an angel of God on the earth. He dreamt like, and I wasn't saying anything about it. And he started telling me all this stuff from his culture about how to pray, and he wrote me all these letters about how to walk on the red road, which is what he called. You know about that? Yeah. And then also I found a shaman on Google while I was in New York. I just saw him this last weekend, actually, for the first time since 2008. But yeah, I Googled, I thought I should go talk to someone because, my stepdad was raised in a way that this was a normal part of life. Like feeling spirits by you, all of this was totally cool. I wasn't raised that way and I was flipping out. I was like, I'm definitely schizophrenic. I have to drop out of grad school. So I found, and I would go meet with this shaman who told me it's okay. We're all schizophrenic. The whole world is a dream. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I didn't have to drop out of grad school, but I didn't. He said I would finish school and I did.
Mm.
So he kind of helped. It helped me to have someone that say like it's fine. Like, but so those two people were very big mentors for me but no one else knew. Like I mostly just kept it to myself. And I thought, yeah, it's hard to, you've had stuff like this. It's hard to just relay these kind of deep spiritual experiences in a conversation with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was mostly keeping it to myself.
So when he was asked or telling you about what he saw, you weren't living with them. You lived on the other side. You were
My
going.
stepdad, yeah, he was in Louisiana and I was in New York for graduate school, but I'm from New Orleans. Him and my mom were outside at like 2 hours outside of in Louisiana. Um, but I would go home on breaks and he would like teach me about the four directions, and just basically walk like the main thing he taught me was that I have to have integrity. If I ever do a healing, it all comes from God. It doesn't come from me. I'm never supposed to tell people. I mean, even that I say I'm a healer, like he's like, you're never supposed to do that. It's not even about you.
Mm.
So yeah, he was pretty serious. I think, yeah, but he helped me a lot because he validated it a lot.
Mm.
He saw beyond the world and wasn't raised around people that could do that.
Mm.
Um, Anyway, so he helped a lot.
Also, at the point that he saw that you hadn't seen that about yourself yet,
What,
when he
like,
saw you as this
it's
spirit,
Angel.
yeah.
I was having these spiritual experiences, but I was so removed because I was like, I'm in grad school, I was wearing this, and I was a really good student. I was making it all happen. And then he'd be like, he had a dream once we were sitting in the sweat lodge and I told him I knew how to go heal people now. And it was like really a big deal to him, but I was like, I don't know. I didn't even know what it was. And I didn't, anyway, he understood. And now he's on the other side and he's one of my main guides and helpers. But um, I just didn't understand it and I didn't know how important it was. I was young and I was kind of stupid. Now I get it now that I'm in my 40s and I'm kind of sad that I was like, that's fine. I don't know why you would have a dream like that. I'm in school. I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all. I didn't say that, but I was trying to play it off like I wasn't ready to honor my soul at the time. I
Mm.
was still trying to fit in. Um, he saw stuff about me
Wow.
that was happening. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at that point, then you were still like in denial, kind of.
Yeah, I spent a long time in denial. Even though I had him and I had that shaman, I thought, it ended and I can tell you more about that. Like I had a big dream that ended it. Um, but I thought, I don't know why God would leave me on this planet. Like, why did God just come to my life, show me all this light, show me all this beauty, and then just go? And I got really depressed and I tried to leave the planet. I tried to figure out, I mean, not actually, but I would look around for like a portal. I would just
Mm.
wonder where all the light went and I couldn't find it. And then I thought, you know what? I made all of that up. Even when I said that, I felt really bad. It was kind of like a rift between us. I would have dreams about him where he was coming to me to tell me how to tune the radio and how to listen. And I would just, because I moved back to New Orleans at that point, I was like, that was fake. I'm mad, and
Oh, wow.
I wasn't mad at him. I was mad that I was still here. And where did all the light go? It was a long process, but that's why I spend a lot of time sitting with people who've had spiritual experiences or they're going through awakenings or they don't believe it. And I'm like, I've been there. Let me sit with you. It took me 15 years to get to this point. So
Wow.
yeah, thanks for asking these questions. He also told me I'd be a teacher and I didn't believe him either.
Mm.
I was like, I don't know why I would, the shaman and him both told me that I would be teaching and speaking, and I didn't understand.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah.
And so did you think he just meant like you teaching the speech pathology or
I did. Well, my stepdad sat me down during the first part of my spiritual experience when I was home on break, and I did not understand what he was saying, but he said, I think you're going to be very popular one day. I think you're going to make a name for yourself, but you have to be strong.
Mm.
You can get through anything with God. And he said, I'll always be with you too, even if he's like on the other side. But I don't think, I don't, and the shaman said, you would be a good teacher, but you have to be strong. So they really flipped me out. They really scared me about all this. So
Oh,
now I'm
wow.
doing it, and I guess I'm strong.
No, absolutely. And let me ask you, so at what point, because I know I saw, I think on an interview where you mentioned about even a Reiki teacher that you kind of like you didn't even believe what they were teaching you. So did you actually learn Reiki then? You
I
know how
did. I
to do
learned Reiki during my
Okay.
healing process. Yeah, that was one of the things I learned. Do you do Reiki?
No, no, but I'm
Mm.
interested in it.
Yeah, it
I
was
wouldn't mind learning.
yeah, it's like there's so many healing modalities, but I was really just trying to heal. Like I was healing from trauma. And so I was like, how can I feel my heart? How can I feel my body? Like how can I come back? I had all this energy stuck in me from what I'd gone through. So she was clearing it out. But I know I always was like I didn't believe any of it. And I think that's part of why I'm supposed to be a teacher because it took me so long to even accept it. And these are very beautiful souls. Like all of these people, my stepdad, the shaman, Reiki teacher, um, beautiful, beautiful, true healers that were just walking the path and trying to shine some light for people. So thankful
Absolutely.
for all of them. Yeah.
So at what point did you finally start accepting everything? What happened that
Um,
you graduated, you moved back home?
yeah, I moved back home. I lived in the woods in a cabin. I my stepdad and my mom were down the street, but and then anyway, it took me years. I would literally cry in my apartment in my room by myself and say like, God, why would you leave me here? I would just bawl by myself, and and I would wonder where it all, and I would just hold my hand out and I would feel an angel hold my hand. I'd feel this warmth around my hand, but that was like all I would get. And it went, because during my experience, I felt these angels around me all the time. Like they just felt like these light beings all the time. I was getting guidance all the time. It was really beautiful. And then they all stepped back when it ended. So it just took me after I went through a denial phase, I just started praying and I started writing. And like my journal started my experience. I would write and ask questions and get answers through like words and guidance. And then I just slowly started to integrate it all. And I knew I was supposed to talk about something, like from what my stepdad, and I was like, what am I supposed to talk about? And I was like, oh, I'm supposed to talk about this extremely private and personal spiritual experience.
Mm.
So that was a big, yeah, part. But so in 2023, I spoke at IONS for the first time, the
Oh,
International Association for Near Death Studies. I'd been really guided to do that. I just felt internally I needed to submit to speak. I'd never told my story publicly. I didn't know you could go to groups and share it. I just thought, I'm ready to do this. I'm going to go stand on a stage and tell it to a whole room of people. And that kind of like busted me through my fears. So that's what I do now.
wow.
Yeah.
You said after the 2 years, it ended with a dream. That's what brought. So what was that?
Yeah, it was all these different things happened. So besides like the feeling the angels and I would see auras around trees before they died. It
Oh,
was
wow.
yeah, I felt eclipses in my body, all this stuff, like just so much light. And then at the around the 2 year mark, I had this dream that I was talking in my room to this beautiful glowing person.
Mm,
And it was the room I was in at the time in this apartment in Brooklyn. And I was saying to this beautiful person, he was just like glowing with all this light. I was saying, life is hard. I don't know why I'm here and I don't know what I'm doing. Even though I'd gone through these experiences that were so beautiful. And he was saying, life is amazing. You need to go out and have a good life. Go have adventures. Being alive is such a gift. And as he's talking, I'm just feeling all this love just pouring from him into my heart.
mm.
And I just felt all this love and I thought, oh my gosh, what's your name? When am I going to meet you? Because I literally just thought, like, I was 28 at this point. I thought he was going to be my boyfriend. That's what made sense to me. I know.
Mm,
And he said, my name's Jonathan. You can meet me when you finish swimming.
mm,
And it just was so loving. And then like that shifted from me talking to him in my room with all this light to me being on a big ship and lowered down into the ocean at night. And I just had the dream, I just was swimming out into the ocean alone. And when I woke up the next morning, all the light was gone. It was like I'd felt all these angels. I'd felt all this like connection. I just felt totally surrounded. And then it was just gone. And I
wow.
was like, oh my gosh, where did it go? That's when I went through my depression. But um, I learned now that swimming is like me living a spiritual life in the world. I used to think was gonna be done swimming like every week and that I was gonna meet this guy. But I think I've realized over, gosh, almost 20 years, that I'm gonna be swimming the rest of my life and he's an angel and I'll meet him on the other side. So yeah, yeah.
And that was his name, Jonathan?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jonathan. Yeah, I used to like date people named Jonathan, like only. If
Oh,
I met a
no.
really great guy, I'd be like, "What's your middle name? Is it maybe John?" But no. Now I know he's not a real person, and he's just a loving angel sent to give me that message that it was going to be over, and I needed to swim. It was very profound. Like it was the most profound dream I've ever had. It was really bright. So.
So you don't feel that that's someone that you know?
Oh, believe me, I mean, I love wondering about this. I never met someone like that. I even got engaged to someone named Jonathan, bless his heart. I'll say it in my Southern way because he was a good person, but I just was like, maybe he's the one from the dream, but he didn't look like the one from the dream. Anyway, no, I don't think it's someone I know. I think I don't know who it is. I actually can't think about it too much because it gets overwhelming, but it was very beautiful.
Okay,
Yeah.
I won't open that door
We
anymore.
can open it. I'll come for a healing. We could totally go deep. I want to know if you have any ideas.
I don't know. I have a feeling that it is someone, you know.
Do you think he has a different name in this lifetime?
No, like not necessarily here in this
Oh,
experience, because well, I don't want to go too deep into it, but I agree with like the statement that they tell you this life is like a dream.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and so there's all these little clues to that, right? That it's like this life. Even my very first person interviewed my first NDE
Yeah.
person I interviewed, they said how when they went and they were asking them to come back, they didn't want to come back.
Hmm.
And they told them, "Oh, it's only gonna be for 40 more years." And for us, 40 years is like a lifetime, basically, 40 years.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
that as soon as they told her 40 more years, she was like, "Oh, okay, 40 years, that's not." So
That's
there's that,
so
like,
funny.
yeah, yeah. So there's that. I think, yeah, I don't know if it's in the Bible where they say like, "Oh, a day over there is like 1,000 years here on earth," or something like that.
Oh,
So that's how I'm seeing it
that's
visually.
cool.
It's almost like I could see like this person, almost like when you wake up, they're gonna be right there, right? Like
I'll be
in
like, so proud of you.
yeah,
You finished
yeah,
swimming. It'll
yeah,
be like 1 second. I'm like, oh yeah, I did it. Yeah. No, that's, I mean, it was so real. Like they say with the indie, it felt so, so real. So yeah. I like that, Omar. I trust your vision. I believe you're like a great seer. I can see that in you. So if you think it, I believe you.
um, so let's I guess I want to see how, yeah, you this or when did you decide to choose this, like, so you went through the depression and the same. I've experienced that as well, so I know what you're talking about.
You did?
Oh
Oh,
yeah, absolutely. Well, when I was visited, by, obviously, since you're familiar with the indigenous
yeah.
ways of speaking and
Yeah.
everything, the star people, right? When they came to,
Yeah.
and that's the same. I used to call her my star wife, right? I finally stopped saying that, but I was like my star wife, right? Because
Oh, so you had the same thing?
yeah, yeah, and when she came, my heart, yeah, it felt like it exploded. I never felt love like that, and so
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
after she came to visit me, it took me 2 months to shake it off. Like those 2 months were like I didn't want to be here anymore because I wanted it. I was like, this is my family, right? Because she came and then there was like people, like some other like males with her, but you could tell she
Hmm.
was the one in charge and she came up to me.
Mm.
Everything was telepathic. And yeah, I just didn't feel the same anymore. So then, but it was clear. It was like, it's not your time to go yet. You still got stuff to do.
Mm.
And so then it was like, okay, I have to refocus my energy here on Earth, right? So it was one of those things. And then I kind of had, a little depression thing going on because it was like, wow, you know,
You
what?
know, it's like you feel so right and then you're never right again. That's
Yeah,
how I feel. It's like
yeah,
so right and then you can't be right.
yeah, yeah. Knowing it kind of, yeah, it changes your life. It's definitely a life altering. So that's why when people are always like, I think that once you're ready, they show you in those gradually, right? Because yeah, everybody wants to see, but yeah, I think it's really that they give it to you as you're ready. Because if not, it's just a lot to.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I did it to myself. I wrote that in my journal, even though I'm like, I didn't mean to write that, but they were like, okay. And it wasn't even that bad. Like I know God or creator knows what we can handle. And I think I was able to handle this much, but it was still a lot to make sense of and to accept. But yeah, so
absolutely. So how long did it, like after your depression and all that, what made you start, like, I guess, pulling yourself out of that?
I just, I just kept thinking about it and I kept like sitting with it. And then it was almost like I was dormant. Like it was this big thing happened. It was from 2006 to 2008. I had these indigenous healers in my life. They were like, you're going to be doing this. Um, and and then it was like I almost just had to hold the place. I had to just live my life. I had a daughter. I was working, and I was just like being as regular as I could be after that. And then I just in 2023 I started sharing, and that's just was like it was just a process of accepting and deciding to speak about it. Um, but it was all, yeah, it was really interesting though, because, I'm from New Orleans and I had gone back to New Orleans for Mardi Gras with my dad and and the IAN's proposal was due that weekend. And I remember I was writing my proposal and I was like, I'm gonna do this. Like no one knows this about me. This is gonna be really crazy for me to start talking about this because I'd been like just holding it inside. Um, and like that next morning, I had my friend who's very, very psychic, who had a huge NDE. She's never shared publicly, but it's really profound. She wrote me, and I'm standing at a Mardi Gras parade the next morning, and she said, Rebecca, I had this dream that you were just glowing with spirit and you were standing on the beach and you just had God's light all over you and
Mm.
you were walking forward so peacefully. And it was like the night I submitted to speak that nobody knew I was going to start sharing my story.
Oh,
I'd
wow.
submitted to speak at IANS and she had that dream. But I remember getting that text. I was like, that's weird she'd have that dream because I'm just at Mardi Gras. But my soul again was getting ready to start doing this. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I just started sharing. I faced all my fears. I had a big panic attack the night before I shared.
Oh,
Yeah, big panic attack. I was shaking. And it was like I entered through a portal basically, and now I can do this. I used to not sleep before any interviews like this, and now I'm like, fine. So thanks for having me.
no, no, it's an honor.
Yeah.
No, thank you. When you were mentioning right now, have you ever looked into why New Orleans? Like, why? How do you say it? Because I remember I met someone that
Nolans.
say Nolans. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah, you can say it like that. Just don't say New Orleans. But Louis Armstrong
oh,
said
okay.
that sometimes in his song, so you can say whatever you want.
How do you say
Um,
it though? How do you say it?
I say New Orleans.
Okay, New Orleans. Okay.
Mhm.
So, because as soon as you started talking about that place, I got so many chills. Like my whole, I literally felt like there were things standing here.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you
So,
see? What do you feel? I
no,
love
I
New
just felt
Orleans.
like there's a reason that you were born there. So I don't know if it was a past life thing that there's a reason though,
Yeah.
100%. Like that's what
Oh,
I felt. Like there's a
that's
reason.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. But you never looked into it, like why?
I mean, I love New Orleans. I feel like it's the most magical place, but it's also
Very.
a lot of my friends I grew up with, we all had big traumas. Like I have friends that were massively traumatized there, but
Mm.
also massively healed there. That's where I started my healing journey. So there's magic there, there's music. It's a very different place. I didn't realize how different till I left. There's so much beauty there. So I love that you have those goosebumps. I need to do some kind of regression or soul something because I have no idea. But how else would I have had like my Christian mom, a Jewish dad, and an indigenous stepdad all my life in Louisiana. So in New Orleans, well, my stepdad wasn't from New Orleans. Actually, neither was. Anyway, it's interesting. But I loved growing up there and I love all the people I know from there because they're kind of the best. I mean, you're the best too, but I
No,
love
no, I'd say so. Okay, so you guys weren't even originally from there then.
I was born and raised in New Orleans, but my
Okay.
mom was from a little town, and all my parents were from different towns in Louisiana, and somehow, like, they moved to New Orleans from before I was born. So,
So there was a reason for that. So
I
maybe
mean,
you
yeah.
ask. I mean, that's what like I just got so much chills around that. So I'm sure when it's time,
Thanks.
you'll
Thanks for bringing that
know
up because I
about
love it and I
that.
miss it all the time. Like, I would move back in a heartbeat. So, I do miss it.
Maybe you were like a voodoo priestess in a past life, or
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, there's so much beauty and there's so much just spiritual awareness really there.
yeah.
Um, I was raised in a skeptical family, but at the same time, like everyone had a ghost in their house and that was normal. Like when I
Mm.
went to grad school in New York, they were like, it's not a ghost. I was like, yeah, but doesn't everyone have a ghost in their house? Even though I was like so skeptical, I was like not that skeptical because I was from New Orleans. So
So had you ever seen any ghosts or anything? And
yeah, in New Orleans, yeah.
oh, like what'd you see?
Oh, okay. So those shadowy nightmares that I had, I don't know what they were, but I think they were related to my trauma. One time I saw a little guy run by.
Ah.
And anyway, there's kind of some crazy stuff that goes
No,
on.
no, say it if you don't mind. If you don't mind.
Okay, this was before I really knew anything about the spiritual world. I didn't really believe in it, but I think I'm just a spiritual person and I didn't kind of know how to handle now I know how to handle it. But I remember I got really excited about something and as soon as I was like, "Oh, I got really excited." I saw this little guy run past and I was working in New Orleans at the time in an old house. And for the next 2 days there was like weird stuff that happened in the house till it went away. Um, like the doorbell rang and no one was there. The secretary came in the next morning and they were like all the cabinets were open and there was like
Mm.
this is kind of creepy, like red goose spread everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, that.
So I was like, that was my biggest ghost story. But I think there are different spirits that kind of want to hang around, and you have to. I mean, I stay in the light like all the time now that I know what I'm doing. But yeah, I don't know. I think I have so many friends with wild ghost stories in Louisiana too. I had a bunch of friends who were tour guides at a haunted mansion, and they saw stuff all the time. And
Mm.
they were like, yeah, oh yeah, that clock. Well, I don't know. They're just C word stuff. What have you had stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah. When I was in high school, there was a little girl that the same. I would see her run by,
Hmm.
and it's funny because my dad was the biggest skeptic to this day. He's the big
Really?
skeptic, but he's seen her. And out of everybody in the house, only me, him, and this man once that was building a patio, he saw the little girl. He's like, hey, the little girl was where'd she go? She was just waving at me. And my dad was like, don't tell him about the ghost because he's gonna get scared and not want to.
Ah,
But
you know
see,
what?
yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I had an interesting, I just talked with a group in Virginia Beach, the IANS group there this past weekend, and someone brought up there's someone who believes that ghosts are just waiting to tell their story. And
Mm,
actually, this woman does it. She just, don't be scared of them. They actually just want to tell you their story, and she writes down their story for them, and then they're able to transition.
that's
I
beautiful.
think that's interesting. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know, because I don't know what about the girl that
yeah.
you saw. I don't know what
Well,
about that thing I saw.
yeah, like well, the little I know they said like when we moved to the house, y the door would lock from the outside. So I think they said she had some kind of disabilities or things like
Mm.
that. I don't know. They would lock her in that room.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
she just wanted to tell her story to
yeah,
you.
yeah. I completely would believe that. Yeah, I never really tried to tap back into it, because I felt one day I did this little ritual to send out any ghosts that were in the
Yeah.
house, and it
Yeah.
looked like it worked. And so
Yeah.
I felt like I kicked them out, and I felt bad about it. So I never tried.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
so sweet.
No, no,
Yeah.
yeah. So I never tried to tap back. But who knows? Maybe I helped them move on to.
Yeah, to the next realm because I don't know what I think about that. That's what I kind of my whole thing is what if I don't know what I necessarily believe about all that. I just know what I've experienced. Like you too. Like you don't know what that was, but you know what you experienced. So,
Absolutely. And I like that you said it's on your website too, right? About that. At some point, right? Even you were questioning everything that you experienced, but finally you just came to terms with, wow, you know what happened, right?
yeah, it made life better. Like my whole spiritual experience made my life better. I slept better. I have a better life. Like it was joyful and maybe so. But yeah, I think I have that quote. I heard it from someone. I'm not saying it was real. I'm just saying it happened.
Oh,
That's the
oh,
quote.
okay.
I think I heard that in a talk, and I was like, you know what? That's true. I don't know if it was real, but it happened to me. So
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. So, at what point did you finally, like now, like what are some of the services you provide, if you don't mind me?
Yeah, so I've spent like years reconnecting, accepting, and then reconnecting. And so now I do what I call sacred soul sessions, which I received in prayer. I just basically sit with a person and I bring through all the light that I felt and I share the light with them. And I hear messages and I it's kind of like a healing experience too. So it's like healing, messages, and coaching, and it all just flows. So it's sacred soul session. I have people that feel like they're fine and they just want to hear messages, but we sit in the space. I basically recreate I would just call in the light through both of us. I don't know how you start your sessions, but I do light visualization. And people just start crying, like they're releasing stuff.
Mm.
And she's like, I didn't think this was an issue. And I'm like, well, it's okay. Just like feel that love and let it come into the parts of you that you need healing. And then I just share the messages I hear. And it all comes from the creator. Like I really don't take credit. I don't think I'm that great of a person. I just like clear myself out enough and I feel all that light that I felt and it's very healing and it's humbling really. So that's what I do. I have those sessions. I do like a monthly group now where we just get together and talk about different things. And I do some like tuning in. I guess you could call it channeling. I usually just call it hearing what they say. Like, let me hear what I hear today. And so it's like the angels that it came to me in my experience. Um, the healing team of light, I think is kind of the name of them, but they're just angel. They're just light. So anyway, I just say what I hear from them every Sunday on my YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have weekly videos where you talk about.
Yes, I started doing them twice a week and people now really I do Thursdays I talk about things I learned and things I've been thinking about and then Sundays I just hear messages and I have people like around the world. I don't have a ton of subscribers. I'm not trying to grow it like really big. But I have people that wait for them every Sunday. So that's why I do it because I know it's kind of weird. I get a little embarrassed about it, but people it helps them, so that's why I do it.
No, absolutely. And what or what were you gonna say?
No, I shouldn't call it weird. I know you do this work, but part of me is forever in a skeptical place. And
No, no, I still like it's like me when I say someone recently was like, "Oh, don't call yourself that," and I was like, "No, no, I don't mean it in a I'm not speaking negative about myself. That's just like even I'll say like I know I'm a freak of nature, but I don't mean it as in like I don't feel negative about it. It's just like yeah, I don't know. Like I get lucky where there's people that can relate, right? So,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
guess for other people that can't relate, who knows? Maybe they see me like, oh, this person's like, a freak of nature.
I know. I do think all my friends might think I really went
Yeah, yeah,
crazy.
but it's nah,
It's okay. I'm hoping everybody goes through this. That's why I'm doing this. I'm like, y'all will understand what happens to you.
oh yeah. I
Your
mean,
spiritual awakening.
yeah, even if they don't, there's enough people now that it's
It's not that
fine.
weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Thanks.
not at all,
Thanks so much.
No, 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 thank you for being open and sharing. So have you been able to see which angels have came to you? Like, do they tell you their names or?
Yeah, so I've asked kind of, because people want to know. They've told me they're like the healing team of light, which is like a nice, joyful. It's just like a little. It's not too intense. It's not like, but they could be called the Council of Light. I and I can like I have connected with different like archangels specifically, like my Archangel Michael and Raphael, Mary, Jesus, these beautiful energies. It's some indigenous teachers, but mostly like when I do my tuning and messages, it's like the healing team of light. But have you connected to galactics?
Yeah,
Okay. Because I feel like some were coming to me kind of recently.
okay.
Yeah.
Were they? What were they saying?
I don't know if I should talk about this publicly because I've never talked about it, but I don't know. It was like they came into me the middle of the night and they were like, Galactic Federation of Light Peacekeepers. Peacekeepers? Is that a thing? Something about peacekeeping.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would
I
say
don't know.
so.
Anyway, part of my experience, I had these big downloads about the whole planet, like right at the end of my experience. And then this spring, like these huge feelings of the sacredness of all of human life, how we're all here together and like we're all completely sacred and we need to help each other out and like be together. And so sometimes I think that might be, I don't know where that's coming from, but um, anyway, I might try to tune in more to that. But I don't know. Do you think angels, some people say angels are alien. They're all the same. Do you think that?
I don't think that anymore
Hmm.
because of like wow, okay. Well, even back in the days, right? Like when they said the word angel, angel translated, I guess coming from the Latin or whatever, it just meant
Hmm.
messenger.
Right.
So to
Yeah.
them, all it was an angel was a
Yeah.
messenger. So that's
Right. Yeah.
that's all it was, right? So yeah, I mean a messenger, but I get the different vibration, right? Like when I've seen angels,
Hmm.
for example, one of the angels that appeared to me, he appeared in person, right? I went to climb a mountain
Wow.
and it was a hike, right? It wasn't like a
Yeah.
like oh Tom Cruise style like climbing, but it was like hiking up a mountain. But at that point, I was injured, and when they told me go climb, go hike up the mountain, I'm like how am I gonna go up the mountain? I could barely walk.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
as I went, but they were like go up the mountain. I was like fine. And then so when I went and by the time I got to the top, there was no pain, right? So I was like,
Wow.
how is that possible? This can't be, right? But it was, so I was like happy. I started hiking down, it looked like a native medicine man. He appeared
Mm.
and my heart, it felt like it exploded, like my third eye started vibrating. And even as all this is happening, I'm trying to make it logical, like, well, no, it's probably the sun, but the sun was behind me. I was like, oh, maybe the sun's hitting my forehead and it's making my third eye vibrate. Like, I don't know what logic I was trying to find
Yeah.
in that. But then he appeared and he was gone, and then I couldn't stop crying. I was even looking around, make sure
Wow.
there's no other hikers. I couldn't
That's
stop crying for over
amazing.
5 minutes. Yeah, it was just like,
Wow.
but it was all love, right? It was like nothing
Yeah. It's
but
just
love.
like releasing. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Wow.
then that same week, I met. I was interviewing a woman who specializes in angels. She's really psychic. She lives in Mexico, and
Hmm.
my cousin, she helped him when my aunt passed away. So he vouched
Mm.
for her. He was like, she's the real deal. Like, trust me.
Mm.
Maybe
Mm.
you want to interview her for your podcast. I was like, all right.
Cool.
So as I was interviewing her, she's the one that would like, you know, as I'm talking to her, she leans forward. She has a big old tattoo here of Archangel Raphael, and
Oh,
I
wow.
was like, "What? You think it was him?" And she's like, "I know it was him, but what do you think?"
She said, I know it was
Yeah,
him.
yeah, I know it was him, but what do
He's
you
the
think?
best.
Yeah, yeah. And then
Wow.
after I was like, "Well, why did he appear to me as a native like medicine man?" And she's like, "Well, because that's who you felt comfortable with." And I was like, "Yeah,
Oh,
yeah." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then
interesting.
yeah, yeah. And then, but the same, he had the staff, he had the medicine staff, and then, Archangel Raphael, the medicine,
Oh,
you know,
he's the
the,
healer.
yeah,
That's
he's
why I
the healer
love
of God. I was
him.
like,
Yeah.
and I was going through, I needed physical healing, right? Like, not just physical, I
Yeah.
knew it had more to do with spiritual, emotional, everything,
Hmm.
right? But, and then even that day, right? It was his day that day that we did the interview. The flyer I made because we did it live, I was
Yeah.
gonna use another color, and I heard them tell me use green, and I was like, I don't like how it looks. I did the flyer, and I was like, I don't like how green does, and they were like, use the green, and I was like, fine.
Oh, and that's his color,
Yeah,
right?
that's his color. Yeah, yeah. And then the
That's so
heart
cool.
chakra too, like all this
Yeah.
stuff, right? He's the one with the animals, and all these animals were appearing too when I did that, when I went on that little,
That's so beautiful,
yeah.
Omar.
So, oh yeah, all that to say, I know, yeah. See, I don't, I'm hijacking your interview,
No,
so.
I want to hear. I'm
No,
actually really curious about your experiences, even though, yeah, I know.
so yeah, the vibration with the angels just feels different. Not to say because even when the one that I called my star wife, the same, right? My heart felt like it exploded with love.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
that was my angel dream.
yeah, yeah.
In the angels around me exploding with love. The heart exploding, that's like a really good description. I
Mm.
haven't described that, like thought about it that way. But when I've felt this galactic thing, it's more like human life is sacred and we need to like fix some shit on the planet. Sorry to curse. Like angels are like, let's bring you all the comfort. You're beautiful. Like we love you. Like feel all this light. And then I think, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. I don't know how much to like anyway.
No,
So
no, it's good because that's one day that I felt like it was weird. It was like it felt like, you know, after my brother had passed,
hmm.
I was making this instrumental with music. And I broke down crying like probably as much as like when I seen that angel, right? And it was like at that moment that I was making this music and I started crying. It was almost like that, like if a beam of light shot up from me, right? Just like,
Wow.
and it was like if my consciousness connected to all these beings, and none of them looked like human, right? None of them.
Wow.
I could see their faces, and they were just smiling at me like, you got it, right? Like, yeah, it's all like love. Yeah, that's the whole answer to everything. We could try to come up with all these mathematical equations and this and the whole key to the whole universe is just love. Like it was that,
It's so
like,
easy,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And in that
Just
moment,
love.
it was like, yeah, I was just thinking about my brother and I just had so much love. It was like, and I mean, it was just so many. It was like going like almost like if it was a camera zooming into each of their faces, but they were all like different beings. Everyone was like, none of them looked human, but they were smiling, almost like if they were the medicine men of all these different planets. Or
Oh, that's so
yeah, yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah.
And
And
they
at
were
that
like
moment,
welcoming you as a medicine man on this planet, maybe.
yeah, wow, that gave me chills. Yeah, that sounds. Yeah, it was like, but that's the thing though, love, right? Like it's
Yeah.
just love.
It's
And
just
so,
love.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just love.
yeah. So that makes
Um,
sense what you're saying about them coming through and trying to tell you like for humans to fix.
yeah, like we're all love. We need to connect. Like every problem we have can be fixed with helping each other in love. That's what it's like downloads I've gotten about it. They were like really profound dreams where I just see the whole planet. And that's really
Absolutely.
beautiful.
No,
Because I've been
no.
thinking, gosh, God, to see the whole planet, it was like I could feel all the people on it and how beautiful we all were. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, so I hope we can do it. That's part of why I'm glad you have a podcast. I'm glad we're both doing our work because I think this is just a reminder for people that life is so beautiful and like we are all really just humans and we can all see each other that way and
Absolutely.
treat each other that way. Yeah.
Yeah, and I hope if maybe you can start writing down those messages that they're giving you and
Oh, I have. Well, I have a book. So I just published a book. I forgot to tell you.
Oh,
It was, so these are just angel messages that I receive every day. Monday through Friday, I share them on my Instagram. And this is kind of how I started reconnecting was journaling and praying and receiving. So I just published a book this summer where it's 365 angel messages. It's called Daily Moments with the Angels. And it's just, and people who've had near-death experiences, a few of my friends, they're like, this is the same feeling, and I haven't felt this since I was on the other side. It's like that light, like light frequency I bring through. Because
yeah.
they don't really speak in words, but when it's like I feel the vibration, I feel it come in. It's like really light, it's really peaceful, and they're like, okay, now here's we're gonna give you some words for what this is like, and it's always just a different message. And I've had anyway, so that's yes, I've written down those messages now. In terms of like anything galactic and fixing the planet, I haven't done that yet. I haven't gone that deep. I have um I have a resistance to stuff, and I have to say,
Oh,
like, I felt them a couple weeks ago, and I was like, well, we'll see. But I could tune back in, and I mean, I was kind of told they're going to be coming to me and like giving me messages. So if that happens, I'll let you know.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's like a little far. I'm like, okay, angels are cool, but like maybe the galactic stuff isn't that far anymore. Again, it goes back to my litmus test. Did it make your life better? If it
Mm.
makes your life better and happier,
Oh,
then yeah,
wow. But something right now I was gonna say was,
yeah,
but you said something about, I don't know if it was in an interview or what, but you talked
yeah.
about how when you went through your experience, you were able to see alternate realities or timelines, right?
Oh, that was crazy, Omar. Have you had that?
Yeah, yeah. So please
You
share.
have?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
this was only during the 2 years. And here's what it was. All the stuff that I think of as intuition now, for those 2 years, it was so heightened. It was like I was actually seeing the timelines and living them. Um, just a couple, but it was so intense. So the one that I really lived, I was going to write about something else. Like I didn't understand I was supposed to write about this spiritual experience and share about it, talk about it. I opened my computer to write at a coffee shop in New York, and I lived my entire life if I published this other book that had nothing to do with my spiritual experience. It was
Mm,
like I lived and saw my book getting published to bad reviews. I lived and saw how dejected and sad I would feel. I like read the bad review, and I just saw and lived. It was like I lived it in 1 second, my whole life like being sad. And then it was like, okay, I guess I won't do that. It was almost like it was being beamed into my head, like it almost felt like there was an angel behind me, just like showing me this life. And so I thought, okay, I won't do that. And it wasn't like I couldn't do it. I could do that if I wanted to, but I just saw that whole reality play out. There's a few other times at the end of my spiritual experience that I saw or felt stuff like that. And it's hard. I don't know how you feel about it, but did make it like, I mean, it's nice guidance, but at the same time to know that like all of our choices change our outcomes and like change our lives really was overwhelming for a while. And I was like, I don't think I can do anything. Like everything's going to change my life. Like, and finally I had to learn like listening to my heart, following my heart's guidance and like higher guidance and is really the way to go. Because you can't live every outcome. Like you can't know every outcome and you have to live it. Well, that's why we're here.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
see, my experience was slightly, I mean, maybe there was a similarity,
Hmm.
but so for you, so you took it as you got to see what it would be like if you made these choices.
Yeah.
See, to me, I saw it like they were showing me that all these exist. So
Oh,
they're all there, but this is the one, like, for example, after my brother passed, that brought me a lot of comfort because they showed me realities where he lived, where he was this, where he was
wow.
that. Yeah, and one I was even like, as he was getting home, he was like this, it was fun. He was like this chubby construction worker, and he got home
Oh,
in his work truck, and I was looking through the window, and he couldn't see me, but I was like watching him. And then in another one, it was another thing, another one. So I got to see them with him, and so I understood like,
wow.
oh, he's alive, and all these other, they're all alternate realities
Wow.
simultaneously. Yeah, so that's
Whoa,
how
were
yeah, yeah.
were they based on his life or were they alternate lives? Or were they
No, like
like
alternate lives. Like even
like
in
not
this, go
okay.
ahead, go, go, no, go, go.
He wasn't like a chubby construction worker in this
Oh
life.
no, no, no. He was
No.
in the
Okay, so
Marines
this
too. He was in the Marines for like 20 something years.
oh wow.
Like the PTSD thing after, the whole
Mm,
thing, that's kind of like
yeah.
what. But yeah, no, he wasn't. yeah, the chubby construction. He wasn't a construction
Yeah,
worker.
so this was just like another lifetime you were seeing, but you could tell it was him. Isn't that neat
Oh
when you
yeah,
can
yeah,
just
yeah.
tell your soul recognizes his soul, even though it doesn't look like him at all?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just
I mean,
like,
he still looked the same. He just was chubbier. He had like a bit, because here he was always clean cut. Even after
yeah.
he retired from the Marines, he was working at one of the bases, right? He was like what is it called? Like a private contractor or something. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but he was still
Yeah.
working for the government, but just, so
Yeah.
yeah, he was always clean cut, everything. And so in this one he had a big old scruffy beard and you know what I mean? All that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
that's sweet.
yeah, yeah. But
That's
that's
awesome.
that's how so to me it gave me comfort in knowing, like, even for us, obviously, right? But for you, they showed you that's pretty cool. I like that they showed you like, wow.
You want to do that? Here's the
Yeah.
life. You want to do that? Here's the life. It was like, and it was just, especially at the end, it was like everything was so like on. But then, and then it just stopped. But a lot of it was just like my whole experience over those 2 years was just aligning me with the promise. It was like I made this promise I wanted to live by the light and help other people live by the light. So anything that was not that was like getting cleaned out. That was most of my
Mm.
experience. And then it was like, okay, you go swim. Because it was like just bringing me to alignment, I guess. Yeah. So, but the
Wow.
timelines were wild. And people say, "Oh, I wish I could see everything." But that movie, I finally watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. Have you seen
Oh,
that?
yeah, yeah,
And I was
yeah,
like, that girl it's the daughter, when she sees everything, she just loses it. And I think if you see that much, it's destabilizing. I mean, the ones I saw, I think were meant to be helpful, but it is, I think if you have too much awareness of it, maybe it would be a lot.
yeah.
It did freak me out to think everything I do is going to change my life. But yeah, can't worry about
Absolutely. No,
it.
yeah, yeah. No, no. That's amazing that. And yeah, that when it happened to me, well, when I saw that movie, I was like,
Mhm.
oh wow. So then even that one, the people that make these movies, I'm like, they have to know. They
Yeah.
have to have experienced this or read about
Yeah.
it at least, right?
No,
Something.
I found out at IANS this year that George Lucas, who wrote Star Wars, had a near-death experience.
What?
Doesn't
I
that
didn't.
make sense? I
Wow.
mean, he had a big accident and like came back and almost died and came back and wrote Star Wars like the
Wow.
next month or something. So I think there's a lot of the dark, the light, living, the Jedi. Anyway,
Mm.
it's
No, 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 yeah.
fascinating.
That makes sense. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
look into that. Let's see if
Yeah.
he wants to be interviewed for an ND interview or something.
Yeah, I mean, people are now that more and more people are talking about it, a lot of people are more open to sharing because I think a lot of people have had this happen. Or like you and I have, we never died. And I can't believe you. I mean, did you think you were losing it or were you just so tuned in that you just knew this was spiritual?
No, no, I still had a lot of losing it moments. But like I had been experiencing things since I was young,
Oh,
so
you had
yeah,
been?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You were just always meant to be doing this.
And that's funny because someone told me that not too long ago. I went to like this healing, like a sound bath healing.
Oh, cool.
But the one that was running, and she was also like, like a medicine woman, basically. She was
Yeah.
native. And that's why I
Yeah.
didn't think. I was like, even her name, right? And so when I got there, I was like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't A native woman doing a sound bowl healing and
Yeah.
everything. And
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
yeah, yeah. So then and then right when she saw me, it was weird. It was like as soon as we saw each other, my brain started like doing the little tingly stuff.
Oh, cool.
We locked eyes, and she's like, I need to talk to you after.
Oh, wow. That's
Like,
so
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So I was like, oh, and then she told me that she's like, you were supposed to be doing this a long time ago, but I know nothing's by accident, right? Yeah, she was like,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. She was saying basically like the stuff she's doing, like she was like, you were supposed, because I think I don't know, she's 70 already or something like
Oh,
that. Yeah,
wow.
yeah. So she was like, you were supposed to be doing this a long time ago, and I was like, yeah, I got lost somewhere.
Did you really? Did you wait a while to start doing this?
No, no, no. I mean, I didn't think, you know what I mean. I definitely thought I was gonna at one point, yeah, but I always thought like different roads, obviously. So I
Yeah,
think,
I mean, that's my whole journey. I was like, I don't believe in anything that happened to me. I'm a speech therapist. I'm a mom. Everyone, hello. And I mean, I still am that, but I'm doing this too because it's my soul. So
mm,
I get it.
absolutely.
And then think of all the people you're helping.
Yeah. I mean,
You know,
that's the plan. So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
Rebecca, thank you so much. I know we're kind of pressed for time, so if you want to let everybody know where they can contact you, where they can get your book. So you have the one book?
Just one. I'm working on like a memoir type, which is much harder to write. These angel, I feel like this book I don't take any credit for. I was like, oh, I just heard those. I just heard them and wrote them down. So I don't feel like it wasn't that hard to write it. But yeah, so I have that book, Daily Moments with the Angels. You can find me on my website, rebeccakastl.com, and basically anything Rebecca Kastl, Kastl. It's spelled kind of funny. It's Hungarian. So yeah, you can find me there. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well,
Okay.
thank
And
you so
I'll
much, Omar.
no, thank you. I'll put links to all your website and YouTube, everything
Thanks.
underneath. So
Yeah, okay, cool. That would be great. Yeah, thank you. It's kind of funny to be so public. I really didn't want to, but it was like my soul was like, you have, like, I had to do this. So I'm like, all right. Like you said, that person said only 40 years. Like when I started doing this, I was like, okay, I'll do this for 50 years. That's like if however much longer I'm gonna live. Like I've done all the stuff I wanted to do in the normal world. I had a family and I had my job, and now I'm like, okay, fine. I'll be as weird as I'm supposed to be. So I'm just going all in. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for
no, no,
having me.
absolutely no. And yeah, on that note, thank you everybody for watching. We'll definitely have to do this again, and maybe next time we could bring through some of those galactic messages and
Oh, okay. Yeah. If I will get more committed now that we've talked about it publicly. And yeah, that would be sweet. That would be great. Thanks, Omar.
thank you. Okay. So
Thank
on that note,
you.
we'll end it there, and thank you so much.
Thanks.
Life may move fast, or it may move slow. I met a silly man who said he make it slow. We look up out towards space, or even at the sky. One that gets away, but never look inside. Breathe in, breathe out. Life is a maze, but we'll figure this out. I mean, human beings, I ain't got no doubt. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sometimes you just feeling it, you know what I'm saying? You just feeling it. And I wanna feel this way forever.